Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So, you know how this works. You've done it before. I just like to remind people this is not an exact science. We communicate the best way we can. So if it doesn't make any sense now, just keep it in mind. You'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later. And I know what he's talking about, that kind of thing. You know how this works. So, we're going to talk to your dad today. He comes in, trying to smell it. I got my sage going. But, well, that really doesn't make any difference because I smell it in my head instead of my nose most of the time. I know that may not make sense. Let me get this crap out of the way. The smell. The smoky, there's a smell of smoke, but there's something else. And it's not smoke like my sage, it's more like a cigarette or something like that. I want to say like diesel fuel, some kind of fuel, some kind of oil, some kind of, something that maybe he worked around or maybe he tinkered on vehicles. I don't know. And we get that, oil, gas smell. Um, so know that when you smell that, that'll be a sign from him. It's validating. Acknowledge him. Tell him you love him. Okay, he's poking his head around the corner. I don't know if he's ever done this for you before or not. So when you see it you'll see it in your peripheral vision. And I include this because I can have my head down here and I can see him walk by. And then when I look up, there's nothing there. But they are there. They were there. I don't know why it works that way where we see it in our peripheral vision. But he's showing me out of the corner of my eye that he's poking his head around the corner. So you should see him. Like you could be watching TV and kind of out of the corner of your eye, you see something move. And you turn your head and it's not there. That's him. He's letting you know that's him. It's not your imagination. He's talking about you need to roll with the flow. Roll with the flow. I'm asking him something. No, he's saying roll with the flow in life instead of fighting the current. Roll with it, go with it, because if you're fighting it, you're going against what you're supposed to be doing. So if you're fighting, trying to go this way, fighting, it's such a fine line between fighting, pushing through something that you need to push through, and butting your head against a wall that you're not supposed to go through. So that's a really fine line, figuring out which is which. Again, he says roll with the flow, but he's talking about that in a very broad term, but there's also something in particular. Something personal between you and somebody. And I'm not sure if it's male or female. I'm not sure if it's a partner or friend or boss or whatever. That he says you need to roll with the flow. It will make it easier on yourself instead of sitting there and putting that knot in your stomach and going, but I want it this way. I want it this way. I want you to breathe and just go with it and see where it takes you. You might be surprised. It might be trying to take you somewhere you need to go. So if you can just He's saying step back, just breathe, and then proceed forward. If that makes any sense? I know what he's talking about. Not in detail, but I know what he's talking about. Step back, breathe, let go of that anxiety and stuff, and then just move forward a little bit. He's showing you like doing somersaults towards it. Once you let go of the need to control the situation or need to control what's being said or how it's being said or what's being done. Once you let go of that, you'll be doing somersaults into it. It unties a knot or something. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like a magnet, and I always say law of attraction works 100% of the time. If you're always feeling negative, 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 just think of somebody that you know that's that way. I'm not saying you're doing it. Think of somebody that you know that is always negative, negative, negative. They attract those type of people around them that always want to, that kind of thing. It's law of attraction. You're attracting it. You're like a magnet. You're attracting what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're feeling. You're attracting, your energy is attracting, like attracts like. So I'm not sure why he's wanting me to go into this little nugget here. I love you, baby girl. And he started to ruffle my hair, and then he kind of stopped. Probably because he knows I don't want my hair messed with. But they do it all the time. And then he just kind of do it again. Then he just kind of went like this. Instead of doing like this, like ruffling somebody's hair, then he kind of stopped, right? Went, uh-oh, maybe I shouldn't. This is what he's going to do to you, so you should feel this. And you've heard me, I think you've probably heard it enough that, like if a fly lands on my hair, I can feel it. So it could just feel like a little wiggle. It could feel like goosebumps. I don't know how you will receive the energy, how it's going to feel to you. Now he's making me itch. Could feel like itching. Could feel like warmth, goosebumps, tingling. I don't know. I don't know how you'll receive it. Just be aware that that's him. Validate him, acknowledge him, telling you love him. Ask him to bring you more signs. If you want them, at your free will choice. He's talking about something yellow, yellow, yellow. He's drawing me to my yellow notepad and also got some in my eye. Sorry. Lifeguard yellow. Stanley, 8 foot. Tape. Now I don't know if it's next. Bleh, can't even talk this morning. It's next to my yellow notepad, so I don't know if he's drawing me to the yellow part, and it even says yellow on this one, or if he's drawing me to the tape measure. I think he's trying to validate that it's him somehow with that. He says there's a lot of things you keep looking backwards. You keep looking backwards, and you keep thinking about. Sorry, it's my medicine. That you keep looking backwards, and there's a lot of regret that you're holding on to, maybe even more than you realize. It was just a few years ago when I went through some cleansing, found out I was still holding on really tight to some stuff that happened when I was 5 years old. Thought I got rid of it. Didn't get rid of it. I just stuffed it. I stuffed it so far down that I couldn't see it and thought it was gone. When it came out and actually I got rid of it, it was horrific, but it was healing. It was cleansing. You got to let that baggage go. So even if there's little thoughts that snip in your head every so often, it's like a little trigger. That's something stuck from the past that you need to let go of. Whatever you need to do, put it in a suitcase in your head. You don't even have to do it physically. Imagine putting whatever that is in a little suitcase, leaving it on the doorstep for an angel to pick up, and walking away from it. And it changes the energy of it. Or I had to go back and tell that little 5-year-old girl she was safe, she's loved, she's protected, she's not in danger. And he says you've got some little nugget that you kind of keep, maybe not physically turning your head, but you keep looking back on us. But he keeps saying the word regret, something you regret from when you were really little. And it's gone. It's not gone from you, but it's gone. He says you need to let go of that baggage. That little girl is perfect in every way there is. He's talking about you. He's shown himself with a big shop broom, and he's pushing this big shop broom. And I thought, what are you doing now, man? That you flipped something else really quick. He's cleaning up after you. Whether you know it or not, he's cleaning up some of the, I don't want to say trash or litter. We don't have trash or litter. It's cleaning up some of the just little, I don't know why I feel like I need to rearrange my desk all of a sudden. They make me do weird stuff, and I never know for sure why. Anyway, turn the labels towards me, turning my cream and my hand lotion and stuff towards me. I'm putting I don't know, was your dad really neat? Like, had to have things in order or something? Sometimes I even have them come in and they tell me to clean up your desk, Rhonda. It's a mess. It always is. So anyway, he wants you to let go of that. I don't know if there's anything on YouTube for that or not. Put it in a suitcase, put it in an envelope, whatever you have to do. Set it outside, ask an angel to come pick it up, or if you can visualize handing it to an angel. Perfect. Sometimes I have to do it several times because I'll pull it back. Even though I let it go, I'll pull it back. And I know I do it. So I catch myself and I let it go again. He says you will feel much more free if you can accomplish this. Okay, anything that happens during a reading is meant for you. So my phone just went off, said spam risk. Imagine that. Anyway, it played it. This is God's country. And he had just shown me, this all fits in with, the words were just getting ready to come out of my mouth. He's shown me mountains. He's being awful, I don't know, cryptic is the word I want to use this morning. But he was showing me mountains. Don't know where these mountains are. He said, you want to see the mountains of the world. But he's showing the mountains as, like, when you look at them, they're beautiful. That's the feeling you get. They're beautiful. They're not obstacles. They're beautiful. You can drive over them as if there's a road built. It's not an obstacle. He wants you to start seeing the mountains in your life not as an obstacle, but as beautiful, as a learning thing, as something that you can get over. Just might take you a little longer. Does that make sense? And then, as he was telling me that, showing me that, my phone played "This Is God's Country." So make those obstacles beautiful. How in the hell do you do that? I don't know, because we sit and dwell on, oh my gosh, that's a big mountain I got to get over. Not the physical mountain, the one, in our life. When actually it's beautiful. You can get to the top of it. You'll be able to see everything, and you'll be able to go over on the other side of that mountain. Oh my goodness, we're getting in. I don't even know what words to use for this. So I hope it's making sense. He says you will understand. Something about an enormous mountain. But if you take it with a grain of salt, it won't seem like such a big mountain. Just go. He's going like this, shrugging his shoulders. Just go. It's there. I have to get over it and move on, and I'll be fine. No, he's not saying anything. Hang on. Okay, so he comes over real close to me, and he's kind of bent down with his face right in here. I wish this camera was better because, like, when we go paranormal investigating, we use cameras a lot, a ton, because you can get things in a picture that you can't see with the naked eye. But a lot of times I see things with the naked eye that don't come up on the pictures too. So, so anyway, in the cameras, you could maybe see wavy lines where his energy is. I don't think it ever works on this one. He's giving me a kiss on the cheek right here. That's for you. So you will feel that. And it could feel like a hair you can't brush off. It could feel like a pin sticking you. And they got after me, so I wasn't paying any attention one time, and they were trying to get my attention, so it was like 3 pin pricks right on my chest. I said, "Hey, who did that?" And I have Bob tattooed on my ankle, and one more pin prick was right in the middle of that tattoo. I went, okay, but that kind of hurt. So it could, it could feel like that, them trying to get your attention. It could feel like just a really hot spot. You could just feel the brush of his lips, which we don't have lips anymore, but it's the energy of the lips. So again, validating, acknowledging, tell him you love him. Ask him to bring you more. You could probably smell him at the same time, he says. He's around you a lot. I keep asking him what he's doing up there. And I'm not allowed to see that very often. They only show me the right in the front foo-foo stuff. I don't get to see the real stuff behind the scenes. Once in a great while, give me a peek or take me. I haven't astral traveled for a while, or actually got to go. I know that may be too woo-woo. He's talking about an old car, and I heard Ford Fairlane. Don't know if this was his, something he admired, somebody he knew, his parents, something. But he has one now. I want to say it's a convertible. I don't know if they made Ford Fairlane convertibles. Yeah, that's back in my time, but I don't remember. He said he can drive anything he wants to. He says, but it's almost like you earn your stripes. You do the things you need to do. You learn what you need to learn when you get. He's learning. He says you don't just sit on your ass. There's certain things you need to do. They usually don't tell me. We'll see if he will. He says then you earn your stripes. And it's kind of like Was he in the service where he would have earned stripes, where he would be saying it that way? It's almost like you earn little merit points, and then you dream of this car and you get this car. That's the way he's explaining what is going on with him. I don't know what he's doing right now. It's like he says, I get to look down and watch everybody. And this may not be actual physical thing that happened, but it's like you're walking down the sidewalk and there's like a tree root, but it looks like it's growing right over the top of the sidewalk instead of like in the yard or something. And he's going, no, no, don't do it, don't do it. Oh, dang, you did trip on it. And I got to watch that, but I couldn't stop you. So he gets to see you make your little hiccups in life. And if you want help with your hiccups, ask him, give him permission, because he can watch this. He can't stop it. He can see that you're going to trip on that tree root, but he can't stop it. It's your free will choice, but it's also they have to allow you to make the mistakes you need to make. Otherwise, they'd all be down here going at cleaning us all out, and none of this shit would be going on that's going on right now. Because they'd all be down here changing all this shit. Changing what everybody's doing and thinking and all the negative stuff. Cannot override our free will choice. So know that he's watching you trip. Make your mistakes. Ask him to help you not make those, if that's what you want to do. Wow, we're getting into some broad stuff here. He's showing a little dog. I'm going to say 10, 20-pound dog. It looks like some kind of a terrier, but it's got kind of wiry hair, long tail, ears lay down. Looks like a very energetic dog. Very energetic. Don't know why he's acknowledging this dog. It looks like he's looking down at this dog. Usually I can tell whether the dog is with him and he's letting somebody know, or the dog is still here and to watch the dog because it sees him. But he's just looking at this dog. So I can't tell 100% either way why he's showing me this dog or whose it is. But there's always a reason, so just keep it in mind. He mentions the name Wilbur. We stink at names. That's one of those things you'll have to stretch outside the box. It's a male with a W name, could be W-I, could be Wilbur exactly. For some reason, we don't get the names exact anymore. And he's not saying why he's acknowledging this person. Like an older person. Older. Did he have a grandfather or great-grandfather or something with a name like that? He's not explaining. Seems like lately during my readings, most of them have come through and just trying to bring you some type of advice to help you enjoy your life more, feel more relaxed, maybe see things a little clearer on how to let go of baggage and just, he says breathe, and just breathe. He said it's like when I go camping. Sit there and look at the beautiful water and the beautiful full moon casting its little thing on the water, and even the storm, it's beautiful and it's free. And we forget to go back to the basics and just We get so caught in hubbub world and all the news bombarding us with all the crap in the world. He says, go back to basics. Go back to where you can breathe. Go sit under a tree. I sat under a tree and an acorn dropped on my head last weekend. Bonked me on the head. My husband goes, you didn't die. Quit whining. And as I'm sitting here looking at my apple tree, that could be dangerous right now to sit under that too. Looks like they might be getting ready to fall. Go under a tree, find some time for yourself, sit down, take a piece of paper and a pen, and breathe. Write down you'll have all kinds of little thoughts going through your head as you're just sitting there daydreaming. Write some of them down, and pretty soon it'll make a pattern. It'll start making sense. And don't forget to thank the tree for bringing you oxygen so you can live, so you can breathe. He says, I love you, baby. And I'm around whenever you snap your fingers. And he snaps his fingers. Just ask me for whatever it is you need. Don't ask for the mansion on the hill. Probably not going to get that, but you never know. Dream big. You have to ask, and you have to allow for what they bring forward. I'll say it a zillion times. They cannot override your free will choice. We can sit here and just do all the dumb shit we want to, or we can ask them and then you can't believe, since I started asking them, how many weird things have come into my path. And I go, I would have never thought of that. Let me step forward and stick my toe in this and let's try it out. And if it works for a little while, it works for a little while. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Won't know till I try. Good old medicine make me cough. Anyway, much love to you, my dear. He's leaving. Thank you for allowing me to be his voice. He is watching over you. Probably more than you know. See you later. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Later.